Hello guys and welcome here. My name is Yassine and in today's video we are going to talk about the if function. So before we even start writing down this if function, we are going to talk about the three parameters of that function. So basically the if function is divided in three parts. First of all, we have the logical test, then we have the value if it's true, and finally the value if it's false. So if we, for example, write it down anywhere on our Excel spreadsheet, we're simply gonna write down equal and then if, and we open our parentheses. So as you can see here, we have our logical test. So the logical test, what exactly this is? So logical test is simply, for example, it could be one cell greater than another cell. One cell equals something. One cell equals to another cell. So this is basically something that we need to test. And if this test is true, we're going to parameter number 2, which is the value if it's true, which is just here. For example, cell number 1 is greater than cell number 2. Well, we are going to return the value that is true. In this case, let's say it will be yes. So it's going to be yes, the answer. And if cell 1 is not greater than the cell number 2, we are going to return the value that is false, which is the third parameter of our function. So let's just write down an example so you'll understand a little bit more. So you can take your Excel spreadsheet and in one cell write 10. So for me, for example, I'm going to write it down in the cell F9, and the cell H9 I'm going to write 20. Okay. So right now we have two numbers inside of two different cells. We know automatically that this number is greater than this number. Now, if we write down a logical test with those two numbers inside of our if function, how exactly we're going to work? So it's going to be equal if we're going to verify the cell H9 is greater than the cell F9. So automatically we know that it's greater. So if this cell is greater than this cell, we want to return yes. So please take note when you write down a text, it's important to add those little commas, otherwise it will return an error. And if this logical test is false, so if H9 in this case is not greater than F9, we want to return no. So in our case here, our logical test is true. So the answer that will be returned will be yes, because in this case, H9 is greater than F9. So if we run our if function, the answer will be yes. Now, how exactly do we know that this function works? We can, for example, change the numbers here. So instead of 20, let's write down 5. Here we go. So as you can see, the thing here the value here has changed. Instead of yes, it's now no. Why? Because the value, the test here is false. H9 is no longer greater than F9. Now, next thing that we want to do to see if it works, let's write down 10 in this cell. So as you can see here, nothing has changed. The value is still no. Why is it still no? Because 10 is not greater than 10. 10 is equal to 10. So in this case, H9 is equal to F9. So this is why the logical test here is false. So this is why we return no in this case. All right. So this is how works the if function. So as I said, we have three parameters. Parameter number 1 will be the logical test. We have it here. Is H9, H9 is greater than F9. The second parameter, it's the value if it's true. So in this case, if this is true, we want to return this value. Then the third parameter, if this is false, we want to return this value right here. So this is how an if function works. So I hope you guys understand right now how this function works. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in another of my videos.